Hey guys, my name is Jason Wallis, and I am here at the request of my friend Paige. I am a creative entrepreneur, and what that means is I do a lot of things for a living in the creative space. So I started my career in music, and then I transitioned into photography, and then into film directing. So within that space, Paige has asked me to talk about product photography specifically, but I'll talk about a lot of different things. A typical day in my life on a shoot day, getting up early and excited for the day because I enjoy what I do, and so that's a real key thing for me, is enjoying what you do for a living and finding fulfillment in what you do. A lot of what I'm doing is solving problems. Specifically, if we have a product shoot, typically those are in the studio. So a studio is an environment where there's no outside light that kind of affects everything. So all of the lights that you see in the image are provided by me and my crew. We'll get with the creative director from the advertising agency. The ad agency will pursue a client and get a client. The client is a brand, which it may be some of the brands I've worked with, Dan & Yogurt, it may be Purell, the hand sanitizer, which has gotten a lot of business over the last year. We'll collaborate with the creative director and hear their vision and what they want to accomplish. And many times it's a beautiful image of their product. On the shoot day, we'll come together, we'll take a camera and we'll connect it to a computer so that every photo that's made, the art director can see what the resulting image is. And from there, we'll agree on what we're looking for, and then we'll set up the lights. I'll have a crew of a few different people that will help set up the lights. And then there's an art director on my team which will provide the product in a camera ready. Many times it's a special product made just for photography. And so they'll bring that to set. If it's any food related items, we'll have a food stylist. So there's many people on this team that come together and put it together. So then we'll start the day, and we will have agreed on what our scene is going to look like. If it's supposed to look like it's an environment out of the studio, we'll know that in advance and light to make it look like it's not in the studio. Or if we know we want it to be a very clean, crisp, white background, we'll know to do that. So all of that will be decided beforehand. Once we get it all set up, we'll go off to the races. Skill sets that are needed in product photography are an attention to detail and communication. Those things are really important. Communication, because we have to know what the client wants. And so if we know what they want, we can accomplish the goal. But if there's no clearly defined target that we've discussed and looked at sample images, then we don't know where we're going. When you focus on a product, you see every little detail. And so attention to detail will make sure those details are exactly as they should be, so that when we take these pictures, they come across as beautiful and looking exactly the way the client wants them to look. With product photography, it's a little different than portrait photography, obviously, because you're not dealing with directing a subject. So when a portrait, I'm asking a subject to do something or to convey some kind of emotion, where with a product, you don't have to worry about that. As far as getting product photography jobs, reaching out to producers and creatives at advertising agencies, because like I said before, the advertising agency has a relationship with the brand or the client. Presenting your work, what you can do to these advertising agencies, is the door into getting product photography work. So as far as the equipment really varies depending on the job as far as the lighting and how we light it. There are multiple ways to light a scene and multiple ways to affect and shape and adjust the quality and the color of the lighting. The cameras typically are the same. I am right now filming on the camera that I use to shoot, so I'm going to take a video with my phone so you can see what the camera looks like. When you see an image, what's in front of the camera, like what you see here, is specifically dressed and designed to show its best self to the camera. But typically from the camera back, it's a mess, and I'm going to show you my mess right here. So here's the camera that I'm using. It's a Canon 5D, and this is a little cable that I had tethered to the computer earlier. It's a 5D SR. And there's my light, and here's my computer. I'm actually recording the audio to the computer. And again, and here's my notes, the camera, my bag, all the equipment. So there's some relics of my music career. As you can see, the camera is very essential to the job, so that's typically the same. I use Canon equipment, but there are many different brands that are great. This light that I'm using now is just a small light for a portrait kind of interview setup like I'm doing here, but we may use 15 lights on product shot. It just depends on what you're doing. But it is very important. Shaping that light, carving that light is real essential to what we're doing. My favorite jobs typically consist of shooting products as well as people. I really enjoy people. I really enjoy working with people. Some of the jobs I've been able to do recently are brand collaborations with music artists. So recently I've gotten to work with Maren Morris, Lauren Elena, Jason Aldean, Brooks and Dunn, Vince Gill, Reba McEntire. So some of these country music legends that I love being around and working with because of my career in music and because of my love of music, which translated into a career of making moving images, which is typically TV commercials. And so combining all that together, those are the things that I really enjoy. So one of the essential elements to product photography is retouching. Everything you see these days, as far as a print image goes, has been retouched. Now there are some people that argue the validity and integrity of doing that, but a single frame is going to be studied much more so than a number of frames running across in a TV commercial. So when people really kind of are able to see a print ad and really focus on it, retouching comes into play. One of the images that I wanted to show you is a Purell Naturals job that we did. It was a print job included with the TV job. So what that means is we shot the print campaign, which is the image you're going to see, and then we also shot a video, a commercial, highlighting the different places you might use this Advanced Naturals product, which is a natural version of hand sanitizer. As we look at this image on white, we were able to make the brand colors match perfectly with the packaging and highlight the bubbles that are an important part of their product. So once the images are approved, we ship them off to the agency, and from there they'll drop it into a print ad that will go into a magazine. Sometimes they end up on billboards, sometimes they end up on little digital advertisements that come through your Instagram or Facebook feed, but the agency will handle the distribution from there. Again, my name is Jason Wallis. I really appreciate you guys taking time to listen to this. Hopefully I've answered some questions. If you want to check out my work, it's at jasonwallisphotography.com, and hope to meet you sometime soon. Thanks.